did see a dear friend of mine, and I think we may play a little of his music.
We might.
Let's see.
I think you were out with this guy last week.
Oh, yeah. He made all the news. Yeah.
He's getting a lot of news about his DUI.
Yeah. I told him about that. I said, I have a reputation, but I can't be going out there if you got a DUI. That's the one and only Justin Timberlake. You can rest assured he's going to be down at NFL in Pittsburgh.
Oh, for the draft.
Oh, absolutely.
Him and I already got our seats.
Oh, sure. Cut me out again. And again, welcome to Democratic Hour. Thanks, Doc and Rich and Joe, for filling in for me. You had a lot of calls, a lot of good calls.
Yeah, I think Tracy's coming in.
We got somebody on the line,
Yep.
right? Let's
I
see.
believe this is your guest.
All right, let's see what we got.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, this is Tracy.
Hey, Trace, how are you? You were on with Doc and Rich, and before I got to say anything about tomorrow, Tracy, you're the right person. So, Trace, tell everybody what's going on, where they need to be, and going to be a part of history. Anybody in Fayette County? Because it's going to be the largest No Kings rally in the country.
Largest rally ever.
Yeah, largest rally ever.
Yeah, so tomorrow, the Democratic women are sponsoring a No Kings rally in Uniontown. Kind of two parts. So the first part starts at 10 a.m. on the courthouse steps, where we will have some really inspirational speakers. We'll also be doing a moment of silence for the soldiers that have just been killed in the recent war in Iraq.
Iran.
And Iran.
I say it's
I just read an article. I'm going to mess up because I just read an article about Iraq this morning. So we'll start there at 10. That will go to 11. And then those that are able can march with us along the sidewalk down to Five Corners to the George C. Marshall Plaza. If you're not able to walk, you can meet us down there. We did post maps of areas that you can park in on our social media and in our event. So we do have that information out there. And then we'll rally from 11 to 1. We're expecting a really big turnout. If you guys want more information, you can go to our Facebook page. We have our website up and running. It's dwofc.com. There's information on there as well. Also, if you go to nokings.org, we're one of the 3,000 protests that are registered on there. All you have to do is type in your zip code. You can type in Uniontown 15401, and it comes up with all the information as well.
So on that website, Trace, there's 3,000 different protests around the country.
I think it's up to like 3,100 and something now.
Yeah, I saw in the news this morning, I think it was CNN, they're talking about 5,200 rallies, including some of the smaller towns, and expecting well over 1 million people nationwide.
Yeah, so the first No Kings, they had 7 million people show up all across the country. In October, they're estimating, I think this time we're estimating 12 million.
Yeah,
so that will be the biggest protest in U.S. history.
Yeah, bigger than Vietnam.
And we'll be a part of history right here at Five Corners. So we're telling everybody, like Tracy said, bring whoever you can, come down and be a part of what we're doing. And it's been going on, right, Trace, for over a year, the Fayette County Democratic Women.
So March 15th. March 15th will be a year. Some weekends we weren't in Uniontown, we were in Connellsville, but every weekend I think there might have been one we took out because of the Thanksgiving holiday, but that weekend we volunteered at the food bank, so we still were out there doing stuff in the community. But yeah, we will have a lot of information to hand out too. So if you're interested in signing up to volunteer with Alan Bradstock, they'll have a booth there with information with that. We'll have some signs to hand out for him. We'll have voter registration information, ways to join the Democratic Women's Group, other ways to get involved. And it's just really important. If you've never been to one, please come out. Don't be intimidated. You'll have a really good time. You'll leave with a sense of renewal. I think it's important in small areas for people to realize that they're not alone and there are other people like you, like-minded people. I'm a concert junkie, and I usually say I always have to hit a bunch of concerts to get that concert high, but I don't know. Protesting is pretty up there, too.
Also, your organization, and they have reached out to the city of Uniontown at place week in, week out when there were demonstrations in Five Corners, also in Connellsville. So, Trace, if anybody wants to join the Fayette County Democratic Women, what they need to do?
You can go to dwofc.com, and there's information on there. You can also go to our Facebook page, send a message, and then you'll get the link back with how to join and all the information. Also, we have meetings the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. And for the next 3 months anyway, we will be at South Connellsville Firemen's Club. And the meetings start at 6. Even if you're not a member, you're more than welcome to come, check it out. A lot of good information at those meetings, a lot of good speakers. And then that's where we plan, our future events and activities.
I do believe there'll be a demonstration in Washington County, Westmoreland County, our county. I don't know if Greene County's having one in Allegheny County. So we're going to be part of history. We've been a big part of history here for the last year.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I think last one we had close to 400 people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the first one was about 150. The other one we're gauging anywhere between 4 and 450. So we're expecting a big turnout tomorrow. People are encouraged to bring signs. If you do not have a sign, we will have plenty of extra that you can borrow.
No vulgarity on the signs.
No.
Yeah, no vulgarity. And we do encourage, a peaceful protest.
Which they have been.
Oh, absolutely. And we have music and, people in costumes and different things. It's important to find moments of joy in these dark times. So,
and it kicks off again at 10 a.m. at the courthouse.
Yep, 10 a.m. at the courthouse. Then we march on the sidewalk to Five Corners, and then we'll continue at Five Corners till 1 p.m.
Trace, anything else?
No, just encourage everybody to come. Like I said, if you've never been to one, please take this chance to come. You will not be disappointed.
Bring a neighbor, bring your grandkids. They're going to be part of history tomorrow. The largest peace movement in the country.
Absolutely.
Well, Trace, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow at the courthouse.
I'll see you in the morning. Thanks.
That's Tracy Wilson, the chair of the Fayette County Democratic Women. Let me take his headset off. Doc, I wrote a couple things down here, of course. Me as a veteran, and I know people that's not veterans, this so-called war, we're in our 5th week. Am I correct? Going on 5 weeks?
It's starting in 5 weeks, yes.
And in 5 weeks, and I want to say 4 weeks in a row, the President of the United States, when he got in this endeavor with Israel, he was in Mar-a-Lago. I think the last 3 weekends he was in Mar-a-Lago, and I'm willing to bet he's probably going back down there
again.
now.
Yeah.
So again, it's not going well. Like I said, unfortunately, we had 13 Americans killed and over 140 wounded. And there's looks like no end to what we got involved in.
Yeah. In this week, the Republican Party created a new award to give out to President Trump, the First America Award, which got me to thinking, I'm going to start my own award.
You are?
Yes, I am. It's going to be the first annual award for Democrat talking.
You got any candidates or anybody in
Well,
mind?
you know who it's going to.
I have no idea.
You.
Me?
To you.
Well, no
And
way.
Having a trophy crate. I don't know if you want gold or silver.
Well, if he has gold, I can't go with gold. I'll go with silver.
Okay, and then
play it cool.
yeah, and then part of being acknowledged as the first recipient,
What do I get? What
a full year supply of Sharpie pens,
like the one that Donald has?
something like this.
Let me see that.
No, it's similar to it, but
so this is my pen is going to
well,
be
no,
silver?
it'll be silver. Well, no, the trophy is going to be
Oh,
silver,
Okay.
but you'll get a full year supply of Sharpies.
Rich, if we weren't on the air, I would say something. Well, that's really start the show out, bust me a little bit. So I'm honored. I'm honored.
I mean, if they could create an award for him for the first America or whatever it is, I think the Democrats in Fayette County and I could create an award for you.
I accept it. I'm deeply honored.
Good.
And I know you have more of that on your mind. but and what Tracy said, and I hope everybody can come tomorrow. They've been down when I said if they kind of Democratic women. We'll be down there. We're going to, like I said, kick off at 10 o'clock at the courthouse, and then we're going to walk down, and I hope there's a large crowd. Here also, I wanted to bring up, the president, and of course, I have no respect. I have no respect for what he says, but listen to this. His big thing this week, what I caught a little bit, they had election Tuesday, I do believe, in Florida, right?
Special election.
Special election. And he's chirping so much about mail-in ballots, eliminate mail-in ballots, and
Cheating. They're cheating.
And guess who voted by mail?
The Republicans?
He
Whoa.
did. He did.
yeah.
And
And what was
Melania
his-
and Barron, they all voted by mail.
And what was his reason when a reporter, I think,
He-
called him out and said, "Wait a minute, you're against mail-in ballots, but he
Yeah.
said he was busy or something."
Yeah,
What
he
was
said,
it?
well, he's president. So that's why he voted. And as president, he was working at the White House. So that was why he submitted
he
a
was
mail-in ballot.
working.
But, okay, my point is, how many people in Fayette County and Pennsylvania and across the country work on election day and they can't take off and they take time off to go and vote? And if he's working in the White House, what was he working on? Bringing down the cost of living?
Or maybe turn another wing down somewhere. What do you think? I mean, it's unbelievable. And I wonder if he realizes that back in 1800, during the Civil War, you could vote by mail. Then he claimed there was no other countries could vote by mail.
In most other countries.
Yep. He
They're
said there
making it
wasn't
available.
any.
Yeah.
So they had to correct him on that.
Yeah.
Certainly.
He just throws something on the wall. If it sticks, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's the way he
Move-
operates.
Move on to something else.
Move on to something else. And everybody, like you said, we can't find ways to fix our healthcare system. We can't find ways to keep the SNAP programs going, put more money into OSHA and MSHA, but yet we're spending $1 billion. And we support our military 110%. So it's not a shot against the military. There's no way we should be involved, what we got involved in. And they're sending the Marines and the 82nd Airborne.
Isn't that what you were in?
No, I
82nd?
was in the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever knew there was, what's the port that's now that's being controlled by the people we're bombing?
What, the Craig Island?
No, Craig Island.
Oh,
and Straits of
Hormuz.
Hormuz. Right. They had no planning. And then he said the other day he was getting a big prize, but what prize, right? It was a prize. But
Well, they said you got 7 tankers of oil.
yeah.
But
Uh,
guess what? That oil doesn't even come to the U.S.
Majority of it goes China, Japan,
Southeast Asia.
yeah, Southeast Asia. The other thing I wanted to bring up, Doc and Rich, and people listen to the show. You look here, we had a vote again to raise the minimum wage here in Pennsylvania. And guess who voted again no? Our local legislators, starting with Charity Grimm-Krupa, Ryan Warner. And think about this. You're making $113,000 a year being a state rep, also getting a per diem for going to Harrisburg and back, and you cannot raise the minimum wage. I wish Charity would somehow, she likes, does her Facebook page. I don't have a problem with that. Tell your constituents why you're against raising the minimum wage. The last time, I think I have it here somewhere. Last time they raised the minimum wage was on July 24, 2009 in Pennsylvania. So now it did pass the House, but our local legislators voted against it. So when you see our local legislator, but she doesn't have a problem making comments on what's going on in one of our local school districts. She wants to get the Attorney General involved.
The investigation, yeah.
Maybe she should have ran for DA here in Fayette County. We got a caller on hold. We do. All right.
We do.
So we got Doc and Rich.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking with?
Sylvia.
Hey, what's up, sister?
You guys missed the most important aspect of the Donald Trump cheating by mail.
Well, we were going to make some more comments, but we'd rather take some calls. Go right ahead and inform everybody the other part of that.
He requested his mail-in ballot the day before it was time to vote. Now, that's okay. I don't care how soon the president gets his thing. But do you know where his ballot was mailed from and where he was?
From D.C.
No, Florida.
Oh, okay.
He
was in Florida golfing that Saturday, where he could have voted in person.
Yeah, I think that's what the one reporter brought up during the previous 2 weeks. He was in Mar-a-Lago, and
Right.
he went golfing, and instead of taking a trek, a mile and a half down the road
Exactly.
to cast a vote. Yeah.
Right. So anybody who does not want to go to their polls on election day, just say that you're going to be out of town, request your ballot, and just, if you live in McClellan Town, go to Uniontown, spend the day. You'll be out of town.
Yeah.
But yes, he has enough nerve to say that's cheating. He had every opportunity to vote in person, but then he's going to tell you that he thought it was more important to be in Washington, D.C. Since when does that matter to him?
I think he's
I
been
think
gone
he
since
wanted-
January, since he got sworn in. I don't think he spent one weekend in D.C. yet.
Yeah. And Sylvia,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, but I did hear one report that he had his mail-in ballot dropped off by somebody else.
You know what? I did not hear that, and I won't, so
If
I'm not
that's the
going to
case,
say
it's
that. but-
illegal.
Exactly.
Right.
Unless you're
Exactly.
handicapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's handicapped.
Well, that might
Well,
be
that's-
why.
he is
Yeah,
handicapped.
that would get.
But
That
again,
might be why.
but other listeners just not listen to this show, other shows, they talk about mail-in, but yet here's the President of the United States doesn't have a problem. And then he makes a comment, and I'm being redundant, no other country other than the United States does mail-in ballots, which is furthest from the truth.
George, when people accuse us of Trump derangement
Right.
syndrome, I want these people to know that they have reality aversion syndrome. The man lies constantly. He knows that what he just said about the election is not true,
Right.
but he does it anyway.
Look what he said about
And-
Mueller, right, when he passed away.
Oh, yeah.
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 There's a man who served this country,
Did he say-
Purple Heart Bronze Star.
Is
And
that good news or what?
Right.
Yeah, good.
He was happy he died.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably were not on the air yet when the Senate passed a
Yes.
resolution to fund the DHS, everything but ICE and I forget what else, but they are funded through the big beautiful bill for
Right.
another 4 years or so. Okay, but they said they wanted that the Senate passed this. Huck, would you remind everybody who's in control of the Senate?
Last time I looked, it's the Republican Party.
Oh, I'm sorry, Huck. You have to talk to Mike Johnson. Because Mike Johnson just came out and said that the House will not vote for this. And he cannot believe that his Republican colleagues could have read this stuff to the Democrats. He's in there accusing the Democrats of opening the borders again and not wanting laws and all this lawlessness in the United States of America. And he's not going to have any part of it. And no, John Thune is not responsible for this. Do you
Sister,
know who he talked to right before this?
I have no
He had
idea.
a call with the President of the
President,
United States.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, he's blaming it on the Democrats who are in the minority.
Sylvia,
in the
it's
Senate.
unbelievable. Before we grab another caller, we're going to think about our sister down in New Orleans. I
Yeah.
see where I think I don't know what's in
What?
seizing now. I don't know if it's
Crawfish.
crawfish. They can't find
They
workers,
don't, right.
and they're
That's
they're
exactly
hurting.
right.
Yeah. Yes, can't get it to market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the first ones. And Trump, and I don't know what industry it was, he just made some exemptions for those visas
You're right,
so that they could bring people in.
and right, and there was,
So, yeah, and that's hurting the crawfish industry. Absolutely.
and you know doggone well who voted for Trump down in Louisiana, right?
Oh,
About as red as
absolutely.
red
But-
could be. Sister, I know we'll see you.
TSA.
Bring somebody tomorrow. We're going to grab as many calls we can.
I just want you to know that the TSA is going to get paid.
Oh, good,
Good.
good.
So that just happened.
Well, I think last time they did
Anyway.
it, took them over a month to get the check, so they're already out about 5 weeks without pay.
You're right.
Then I think
Well,
Rich brought an
I want
excellent point up. I think
But
what
I want you
airlines?
guys to know
Delta.
one more thing. There's
Go ahead.
more remodeling is going to go on in the White House. He's going to remodel another room in the White House, the treaty room, and turn it into a bedroom. So just so you know, I guess for that overnight company he has.
All right.
Good, so he can make, well, no, I'll never mind. I won't say it.
All right, we appreciate it. We're going to grab a
All
call.
right, catch another
Thank,
call.
thank you,
Bye.
sister.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
This is James. How's everybody doing today?
Good, James.
Great.
How are you?
Good. Hanging in there despite what's going on every day. This world is is spinning out of control. But looking at a couple things this week, guys. First of all, watching the BBC News. And it's always fun to watch news overseas because they have no filter, not like our media. The BBC it was talking in their parliament and how they believe that Trump coerced us into this war, and they were saying that they would not do the same thing. Another story was talking about how Donald Trump, you probably heard about this, and they backed this up, how Donald Trump has manipulated the stock market. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yeah.
11 times they said this happened. They said 15 minutes before he announced recently that I don't know how he did that. I think it was on a Monday. 7 o'clock, he got 2 million points to go up. Iran announced that they were not in talks. It dropped 1 million points, 3 million point swing, and they said that does not happen. That is not normal. But 15 minutes before that, a group put a certain stocks were bought or sold, made $580 million, $500 million in 15 minutes. He's done this numerous times.
Well, look what he did last night. I mean, 11 minutes after the stock market closed, he came out with the announcement and said he's going to give Iran another 10 days. And what happened before the stock market closed? The biggest drop in the stock market, in the Dow. There's a big drop in the S&P, and oil prices went up to $108 a barrel.
So you're right. And so we're interested to see what happens Monday morning.
Right.
They're manipulating this stock market, but they also had a story on how the question was raised. I think this was the Canadian news raised the question: who's he meeting with?
Right.
Who's he meeting with? Because he keeps saying that he's meeting with somebody, and they're over there saying, "We ain't meeting with nobody. We're at war with you people.
Well,
We don't want."
Who's leading the supposed negotiations for the U.S.?
Oh,
His
well,
son, Jared?
Kushner, and Witkoff.
and Witkoff.
Exactly. And these three, I wouldn't believe them if you put them in a bag and shook them up. I would believe what somebody else said. But now this raises this question coming up. This gets good. You brought up the elections in Florida. And the elections in Florida, do you realize that where he's at, Mar-a-Lago, that's Republican territory.
Yeah.
However, this time, wasn't it a Democrat that won that
female,
territory?
absolutely.
Okay, Democratic female. Now he's down there wigging out because this is going on. And we've had this happen if you look across the nation. He's nervous. I don't care what anybody says. He's nervous because he knows that he could possibly lose the midterms. And I think he cares to a point, but then he's cocky. But the thing that I'm concerned about is, and you may have heard it, is he's worried about him getting impeached.
Exactly.
And I think I'll get to that in a second, but he's worried about getting impeached. And his concern is these midterms. And there's a notion that he could maybe come out with an executive order that he could sign that could do away with the mail-ins, do away with the voting machines, because if his SAVE Act doesn't pass, he's wanting to sign an executive order to kind of manipulate, again, these elections in the fall. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is something that's up his sleeve, so to speak. But my question to you guys, now I've heard it and researched it a little bit, and this isn't like Bill Clinton of what is or something that's happened in the past. There is some serious, how can I put it, grounds for impeachment. And I've heard that it could be come at 4 different ways that he can be impeached, 4 different reasons that he can be impeached. Have you heard anything on how many kind of like laws that he has broken that he could be impeached on?
I haven't personally.
But I'm with you, James. I've heard like numerous approaches that.
Yeah, this isn't just one.
The grounds
This
for
is-
impeachment. Yeah.
People look at the
Exactly. This is
Constitution.
Right. He could. There's like 4 as of now. Give him more time. There's four different grounds that he could be impeached on, and that's what I've read.
James,
They,
But it-
comment,
Doc.
they had grounds for impeachment were rock solid 2 times before.
Exactly.
But the wall was in the House of Representatives, which couldn't get enough. And even if they did, by some miracle,
The
the
Senate
Senate
wouldn't
would never pass it.
Yeah.
So you can see why no one's rushing to file another charge of and set in motion impeachment, because they know it's a lock. And it's just be an embarrassment to the Democrats. In fact, he could claim the martyr story.
Yeah.
This proves that they're after me. Well, they really were.
Well,
It didn't
the
work.
thing is if everything changes in the fall, I mean, it's a very
Yeah.
good chance
Oh,
that he could get
absolutely.
impeached.
James,
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
before we grab another caller, I hope to see you tomorrow, but I also want to thank you for bringing out the debacle with petition signings, where Hillbilly was involved.
Have you heard anything about those? Because was that today or was that?
No, they have a hearing Monday over the Harry Cochran's petition. It's in court Monday in Pittsburgh.
So that's in Monday in
Yes,
Pittsburgh.
10
Because
a.m.
on the earlier show, there was a comment that's looking like it's just going to be dismissed, and it was going on. Now that hasn't even gone on yet.
No, it is.
So that was a total lie that person said. That hasn't gone on yet, and it's scheduled for Monday. Thank you
well,
for that.
what I
information,
looked up,
George.
it was scheduled for
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Well,
Okay.
James, I hope to see you tomorrow. If
All
can't,
right.
we appreciate the call.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
You're speaking to Sean from the mountain. guys.
Hey, Sean, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well right now, George. Doing well now, but I'm getting a little concerned here about what's going on with our farmers here in the future.
You getting
And I
any
wanna go-
fertilizer up there?
Well, I was going to say I was going to thank you guys. I know you've been talking about it on the show prior to this, but I mean it's more than just fertilizer. I mean it's a quadruple whammy here. I mean with the gas prices that are going to be outrageous, and it always happens too. I mean there's the 2 times when farmers absolutely need fuel. It's in the springtime and planting. It's in the fall and harvesting, and here we are coming back up to spring. So. Everybody needs to be braced for this, because if you think your food prices, your grocery prices are outrageous now, it's going to be, I mean, at least 4 or 5-fold what it is come fall. I mean, it's just going to be outrageously overpriced. So it's on that, and it's, of course, the trade issues are bogged down. We've screwed Canada so bad now that Canada is now undercutting us on corn. You know, Brazil was doing it in soybeans, and now Canada's going to do it with corn. And then because they owe us no loyalty anymore, they're like, well,
I don't.
we're not going to be nice to that country anymore. They look what they did to us. So expect everything across the board, all consumables, to be outrageously overpriced by the fall, and there's just absolutely nothing that they can do about it.
Sean,
So-
you live it. You've been doing this. You did a show last year on WMBS. Anybody hasn't heard your show should. But like you said, and I do believe.
Well,
But-
hopefully we're coming back in May. If we can find sponsors, hopefully we'll be back in May. So don't let TJ get away with too much, because I mean, you get too nice to him and he gets real lackadaisical. You got to be mean to him every once in a while, George. Really, I mean, he's got to be reminded of me every once in a while.
Sean, what I don't understand, these large farmers. I mean, large. You
Yes.
do it. I mean, it's a lot of work for you and other farmers, and that's one of the biggest
Yes.
industries we have here in the Commonwealth. But yet, those individuals, probably no doubt in my mind, the majority of them voted for the current president of the United States. And now this is the thanks they got for putting him in office.
Well, I'd like to do that tally again, George. I'll tell you that, to be honest with you. I know there's a tremendous number in the Midwest that, even if they didn't agree with the president, or even in secret didn't vote for the president when they went behind closed doors, now they're getting very vocal. And now they're saying, this is what you've done to us after we supported you all this time. This is what we got for what we paid for. This is what we got for, taking the time and going and voting for you. Well, forget that. I mean, if we could do that count over again, believe me, I believe it would be a significantly different number. I mean, at every turn, they're constantly disappointing us. But I just wanted to put that warning out there. Consumables are going to be outrageous. Support your local farmer. Talk
Yes.
to them now. buy halves
Local.
of beef now if you have a big family. You know, get these things ordered now. Now is the time, because believe me, I promise you, come
gonna go
fall,
up.
it's just going to be completely outrageous.
Well,
Yeah,
Sean, we
so-
probably any other comments
Okay.
before we grab a call?
Kind of.
Well, I just wanted to
Go
point out
ahead,
the one
go
thing.
ahead. Doc wants
Just
to ask you a
a
question.
comment for you to clarify. Now, the focus of attention are on all the oil cargo ships stuck and can't get through the isthmus there, right? That's true, and that's it. If it's just projecting a penny change per gallon, it's great news. But is it correct or incorrect to say that many of those cargo, a huge number of cargo ships have the produce and the harvesting, that's all targeted and shipped to be, that won't get to the people where there are adults and children that will be starving.
Already.
Is that correct? That
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely,
big,
and
big factor there?
Trade has virtually come to a standstill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doc, I mean, it's virtually come to a standstill on all fronts, on not just
Yes.
grain or livestock, or, I mean, it's everything,
Everything,
trade goods in general.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean-
come to almost a complete standstill.
Oil is a global market, but all those tankers that are stuck in water right now, not going in, excuse me, not going anywhere. It takes anywhere from 15 to 18 days for them to get to their destination in Southeast Asia. Now, that's just to
Yeah.
arrive there, and then to refine the petroleum and everything else. The delay they're saying is like 5-6 months.
Well, Sean, any
Yeah,
other comments? We're
absolutely.
going to grab a call.
Well, I just wanted
Yeah,
to say,
please.
you know, whenever we talk about the No Kings rally
Right.
and how important it is to go out and be there, you know, it's not just, I mean, I know how the other side likes to make it just sound
Right.
like whining, but let me explain something to you. The truth of the matter is, you know, this man has just done everything by his own decree, okay? That's what a king does, okay? And when I look at what are some of our local officials, and believe me, I don't follow our recorder of deeds at all, but he posts on public forums. And one of the recent posts that he posted on a public forum was talking about, don't question our anointed leaders. And it
Anointed.
specifically uses the word anointed.
Anointed.
Now, what's anointed? Kings are anointed. Kings are anointed. Elected officials are elected. Okay, so this is the mentality, this is the thought process that's going through even some of our local officials. So absolutely no kings, and, you know, you are elected, you are to do a job, and then when we don't like it, if you're not doing your job, we get you out of there. A king is for life.
Right.
And this man has just really overstayed his welcome. So absolutely no kings. Gentlemen, I'll leave you with that. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sean,
Sean.
for your comments.
Okay. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Yeah, this is Jay. Good afternoon.
Hey, Jay, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'll be quick.
No, you're good. You're good, brother.
Okay. Robert Mueller, I'm glad you brought this up.
Oh,
I don't think half the country knows what Robert Mueller did for this country and how he was honored by the military. Robert Mueller, when the Vietnam War was going on, volunteered for military service. He wasn't drafted.
Right.
He didn't look to get out. He volunteered to go, and he served nobly. Bronze Star, as you said. He also got Purple Heart. And let me make this very clear, because right before he went in, Robert Mueller had a knee injury. And he could have, you know, even if he was drafted, like some people tried to do with
He
their
could have come
vote.
home.
Exactly. And Robert Mueller also received the 2016 Sylvanus Thayer Award from West Point. That's the highest award that West
Yeah.
Point gives
Right.
for public service. And for somebody as commander-in-chief, and I'm sorry, I'm mad about this, for a commander-in-chief to make a comment that he's glad he died when this guy was appointed by the Bush administration as FBI director, President Obama wanted to extend that service beyond. And he went to the U.S. Senate in 2011, which at that time was Republican-controlled. But regardless of that, from the far left of Bernie Sanders to the far right of Ted Cruz, the U.S. Senate voted 100 to
Unanimous.
nothing. Yes. And that ought to tell you something about him. And Newt Gingrich went to Donald Trump in 2017 and said how noble a public servant Robert Mueller was. I cannot believe I just don't think there's people in this country know what this man's service was. They just believe whatever he puts out on social media, and that's a disgrace. And the man has already left at noon today, closed down the press pool to head to Mar-a-Lago.
Another weekend.
$3.6 million on our dime to head down to Mar-a-Lago when he was just there Monday afternoon. He had an extended stay last weekend.
Yeah, and he didn't have to stand in line to get on the airplane or go through TSA.
Thank you. Yeah, yesterday my wife had to go to a convention due to her work. Went to BWI. You know how many lines? They had?
I could imagine. When
I
she
saw
went
that
there.
on the news this morning. Yeah.
She was standing. She showed me, sent me a video. One line open, and I mean BWI is a big airport in
Yes.
Baltimore, right outside the Beltway.
Yep,
to be
been there
really
many
honest.
times.
And I'll leave you with this. And if people don't like the Robert Mueller, 4-star General Mark Milley, what did Donald Trump do to a 4-star general? The first
Yeah.
day he was inaugurated, had his portrait taken down out of the Pentagon because he didn't like the guy.
Hey, Jay, before you go, Rich, we didn't make a comment. One of the major airlines, what did they do?
No.
Listen to that. I don't know if you heard this.
I wrote a brief thing on Facebook this week. Delta Airlines, I gave them kudos. The
No problem.
congressmen and senators get a privilege when they go to the airport. They, give their credentials out there, and they get to go to the front of the line to go through TSA right away. Delta Airlines stopped it and said, nope, from now on, you stand in line with everyone else.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Jay, could you imagine one of them standing in line for 4 hours?
No, that's exactly, and I did hear that, Rich, last night, and I'll leave you with this, and I did hear that, Rich, and that's good for Delta.
Absolutely.
You know, I will say this, we got people, not working, haven't been working, have been, going weeks without a paycheck.
And working.
Yeah, and it shows you this regime. I'll just call it a regime. They're not for the working man and the working woman. They're for the elite of this country, and that's what the Trump administration is all about. The elite. I appreciate what you guys do, and I want you all to have a good weekend.
And we're going to. Tomorrow's going to be
And
a
I
big
may
day.
be at that march tomorrow. If I'm there, I'll have a red shirt on, and I'll be there and looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to meet you.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Take
Jay.
care.
That
Thank
Jay made some good comments, but imagine, Doc, could you imagine one of the congressmen, let me take his headset off, standing in line, imagine the Baltimore airport or
Yeah.
the national airport there in D.C.
Or DWI. I mean,
yeah.
they purposely went to bat and got airlines in there
Yeah.
to create
Right,
more
more
flights
flights.
so that they can go home.
Yep, you're absolutely correct. So, it's probably 10-minute ride to max, whatever it is. So they, like you said, let them jump in line now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And this idea of having ICE agents at the airports, I think that's crazy. You see the video of them, they're just standing around.
Yeah.
When they went to Washington, D.C., they were picking up trash. They're not doing anything to expedite crowd control. And it annoys me that, okay, they're getting paid, and the TSA agents aren't, and the TSA agents are the ones who are doing all the work and have to deal with everybody who has to go
To
through.
keep the lines moving.
Absolutely.
They're critical to
Could
that.
you imagine, like I said, going to the airport? Fortunately, here in Pittsburgh, everybody I've taken or who's been traveling, getting through there, but other airports, could you imagine waiting in line? I mean, in line for 4 hours.
Well, I got a notice this morning. Some people want me to go to New York next week. You know what? If this
You
is still
could
going
probably
on,
drive
I'm going to
quicker.
drive. Yeah. I mean, stand in line 4 or 5 hours. I could be halfway there.
And again, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. And like I said, getting back to Tracy's comments at the beginning of the show about the No Kings rally. So, folks, come down, help support the No Kings rally. And just like Jay said, it's more than, we so-called have a king now in office. But like I said, you need to come down, listen whatever the speakers have to say at the courthouse, participate. And believe me, when you leave there, you're going to feel a heck of a lot better than when you came there.
Yeah. And to get back to one of the
Yeah.
callers is saying about Bob Mueller.
Right. That was Jay.
Jay. I mean, Bob Mueller exemplary his whole darn career. But you know what? I don't hear any Republican on the federal level,
We're
state
local.
level,
We're
or
local.
even local.
Those who support, right? They're always out there supporting the troops, right? They don't have a problem. But now, when the President of the United States makes a horrible statement
Yeah,
about a military,
crickets. They don't
Crickets.
say a darn thing.
and they won't say anything.
Yeah.
I
And-
guess they're scared to say anything, right? And
And-
you imagine any other president, being a Democrat, would have said what Donald
Oh,
Trump
my
said.
God. Yeah, and you know, if I go to New York next week, what am I supposed to do? Carry my passport? You know, I have my original birth certificate,
I wish
So-
I could find mine.
so maybe I could carry that. You know, the real IDs aren't recognized anymore for getting on through the TSA lines. It's just absolutely crazy.
Doc, you've been around this
Yeah.
political
Okay,
arena
well-
a long time.
Okay,
We're
then
going to give you the last 2
fix
minutes,
my,
and we're
my
going to.
grudge.
You
The
please.
grudge that I have is this. The teaching from the political specialists for years, you don't even have to go back to Machiavelli. You go to Mark Twain. If you're going to tell a whopper, a rye, make it a whopper, a really big whopper.
Not a
number one.
burger whopper, right?
Number two,
Yeah.
say it 1,000 times every day, morning, afternoon, tweets, whatever if you can, you repeat and repeat. And what happens? A small portion, if it's not true, will see through and not. But as time passes, more will fall into it must be true.
because
and
you
then
keep
if you
hearing
have
it.
enough time,
Yeah.
they'll say, by golly, there could have been a conspiracy there.
Yeah.
So, okay, then what is the teaching and how do you offset that? You offset that by telling them what really happened, what was true. And the big whopper that they told that Biden and the Democrats have had open arms to the immigrant situation. Absolutely open. No, the bill was a joint
Yeah.
compromise bill. It was through the House of Representatives.
And
A
the Senate.
runner was going to take it down in the afternoon for Trump to sign it once they got their senators on board, correct?
Right.
And what happened, Trump called and said, I need to have this untruth survive for my upcoming election. And
Doc,
they did that.
We got
Real-
one more caller. We'll
real
grab that
quick,
one.
let's
Okay,
see
we'll
here.
do that real quick.
Well,
See what we got.
thanks for my
No
grudge.
problem, Doc. You know that.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
My name is Keith.
Yes, Keith, what can we do? You got about, 2 minutes, T?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to make a comment. Anybody in the government should not be being paid while the TSA people are not.
We agree with you.
Nobody.
I agree.
What's that?
Okay.
I agree with
Yeah.
you.
It's ridiculous that people are out of work and aren't getting paid while they gallivant and do what they claim that they're doing, but they're not doing nothing but hurting the American public.
Or the president going out to his own golf course in South Florida and golfing.
It's not just him; it's the whole,
Yeah.
Oh, I agree,
Sure,
huh?
Keith. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a whole bunch of them.
I didn't have a problem
It's
with
him, the Democrats, it's everybody.
Everybody.
Well, like I said, I don't know how many people could go to work for a month without getting paid. And they shouldn't be getting paid either. Keith, we appreciate
No,
you.
it's across the board between the president, Senate, Congress. They should be working 7 days a week, at least 6 days a week. Take Sunday off to go to church
Well, you know that won't happen
to
either.
make the country a better place.
All right, Keith, we appreciate it. We're gonna
Yeah,
wrap
that'll
it up.
never happen.
Yep. All right. And again, Doc, thanks, Rich. TJ,
thank
thanks.
Welcome.
And we got about a minute left. I hope everybody comes down to No Kings Rally and T. I don't know what music we have, but we usually play Take It to the Streets, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah. And just one more comment from what you were saying, Doc, about people say everything often enough, other people are going to believe it.
Yes.
Who's going to believe anything that comes out of the mouths of people running Iran? Certainly can't believe Trump.
That's for sure.
What are we supposed to believe? What are we supposed to do?
Well, I know what we're going to do. Come fall, we're gonna make a major change, and we're gonna see what happens. And again, guys, thanks. We'll be here. Guess what? It'll be April.
I may not be here next week.
That's all right. You'll be
Pirate opener.
Oh, look out!
Pirate home opener. TJ will be happy.
Oh,
0 and
everybody be up.
162.
All right, TJ, thank you, and
You're
we'll be
welcome.
back on the Democratic Hour next Friday. Thank you for calling.
You have been listening to the Democratic Radio Hour, heard every Friday at 3:15, right here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WNBS.
And it's cloudy and 42. The low will be 25 tonight. We'll have more on the weather coming up. We also have a March Madness tonight starting at 6 o'clock as the Sweet 16 wraps up. This is WNBS Uniontown at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The astronaut set to become the first lunar mission in